Aldous, or?
Yeah, Aldous is fine.
Okay. Righty. Lostbelt 6. Oh, that was just the water. Hello, YouTube world. It's me, your man. I'm here with my bud.
Hi, I'm Aldous. I exist.
Yep, and today we're gonna go through Lostbelt 6, because this is the big one, or one of the big ones.
I don't know. In my experience, each one is a big one.
Right. So, but yeah, I guess what are your expectations going into this?
I am big on mythology, and I am big on like I got into Fate from mythology and history, so I'm not really sure. There are things that I have seen that I don't really have any context for.
Right.
You know, I've seen the new banner, and I've rolled from the new banner, and I've seen all the stuff in it, but I don't know. Main expectation is Barrel's gonna die, and it's gonna feel good when he does. And that's really about it. Other than that, I just have to kind of see what they do with Avalon, because if it's Britain and they're calling it Avalon, then there's already kind of a weird thing going on.
Really?
Avalon's a completely separate landmass to Britain in myth. So if it's incorporated, then it has implications.
Yeah, because I know that I've seen most of what goes on in here from JP, because, 2 years is a long wait or whatever, but I don't know the specifics exactly. All I know is that I got spoiled on boss fights, music, and certain stuff, but not any specifics. But yeah, I think I've forgotten most of it since it has been 2 years, so...
It's been hard avoiding spoilers.
I can imagine you would have to avoid like almost every type of social media, and it's like especially YouTube, because once you look up one video, you get recommended everything.
Oh yeah, and it makes sense. So.
And there he is, Mr. Cockwizard.
There he is.
Well, hello there, you with the still unknown fate. I trust you can hear me. Or perhaps hello again, Stargazer, would be more appropriate. Either way, it doesn't really matter. You're here now, and I don't have to be bored out of my skull anymore, so will you hear what I have to say? I suppose it's less what I have to say exactly than it is one of the many songs the wind carried to me. Because this is Avalon, essentially.
This is the story of a single future. Something with the island of mystics that was reduced to the land of the Fae. Those of you without sin, take your leave now, for here you will find the Queen's bottomless castle.
Essentially, abandon all hope, ye all to who enter.
They accumulate like rain or ash. They disappear like snow or lies. Our hopes are either upon the shelf or yet in the Queen's hands. But we need only hold out a little longer. On the dawn of the 2000th year, the prophesied child will appear. The child who will bring we Fae folk and humans together. The child who will save the world. Though it be too small for any other to see, the child shall be drawn to the light here as a moth to the flame. Once the child has averted a catastrophe in the city of iron and sea of soot, their pilgrimage shall truly begin. Chosen by the staff of selection, the Savior, guarded by travelers from afar, shall reach the throne. The throne shall be claimed by a true king. Take up the bloodied crown. Let the 6 bells ring out like raging lightning, like grieving flame. Let them ring out and forge a path for the true king. Let them ring out before the red calamity reaches us, before the black disaster devours us living. Though we may not be the most diligent of folk, we are yet the free descendants of the Fae. Lacking though our wishes be, all we desire is a brighter tomorrow. So what'd you think? It takes its sweet time making its point, but you get it, yes? That's just how it is with prophecies. They don't make sense when you first hear them, but once events unfold, you see exactly what they meant.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of get an idea, but
It's like 3 or 4 different, like, myths all rolled in one.
yeah.
In that sense, they're a lot like a curse that fixed itself to your back before you knew it was there. Cheap trick.
Drowsy.
Well, looks like the scary lady found me. This is all I can do for now.
Damn it, Morgan.
The next time I see you will probably be after everything else is said and done. If it's a shame I won't be able to help you fight, but I'm hugely relieved I won't have to fear for my life.
Right, I'd imagine he would want nothing to do with this Lost Belt because...
Honestly, his existence currently in-game is kind of confusing to me.
Really?
I mean, he's not a servant. He is actual Merlin projecting himself from Avalon.
Yeah, using time paradoxes as a loophole.
Yeah, so that's kind of an assumption that Avalon itself wasn't wiped out with the, erasure of humanity.
Right. And of course, I think the biggest reason he won't touch this Lost Belt is Morgan.
Well, yeah. All right then, I'll be waiting for you in the confined land. Until next time. I mean, he is Morgan's brother.
In myth?
In the earliest forms of Arthurian myth, there are a few stories where Merlin is either her brother or related to her in some way.
Ah. Was that a dream? Testing. Good morning, everyone. This is Shion. The time is now 7 a.m. I am very sorry to disturb you during all your precious, quite early morning hours, but I have an urgent message to relay to all Novum Chaldea staff. There has been a change in the 6th Lost Belt. The emergency situation we predicted is now in progress. Please remain calm and come to the command room as soon as you're able. Oh crap, come on, foe.
I just pronounced everything wrong in the game as I'm realizing.
Really?
Because, I call her Scion. And I call it Chaldea. Oh well.
Foe? He just turned and left.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think he also wouldn't want anything to do with this Lost Belt either.
I mean, depending on how sapient foe is now.
Yeah, because I want to say that there should exist a Lost Belt foe. And given what foe originally is?
Yeah. Granted, he's kind of made up.
Yeah.
Anyway, hi Mash. You exist. Don't bother asking. Username. I relate. He and I both just got here ourselves, so we know as little as you. I don't even see my technical advisor or the captain anywhere. The only other ones here are that unflappable alchemist and...
Good morning, my distinguished colleagues. I see by your healthy complexions that you all slept marvelously last night. Wonderful. I'd say this fulfills the first condition, wouldn't you, Miss Shion? Yes, I think so. It is very lucky that you are all in such good health right now. Let's see. We have Jack and Mash, the demi-servant, the field op team,
Munier,
the pilot, Tomlin, and
Kawata,
the operators. Octavia, Da Vinci's assistant, Chin, the vehicle mechanic,
Cayenne, and
yeah.
Elron, the record keeper,
and Marcus.
Yeah.
And Gordoff, who's just enjoying a heaping plate of pancakes with a rather generous drizzling of honey. I see not one of you is as much as batting an eye at this dire situation. Truly, you're all seasoned veterans. This will make it so much easier to tell you what's going on.
Oh, I really don't like where this is going, but come on, let's hear it. What is going on already? Does it have something to do with that searing red light flashing more gaudily than I've ever seen it flash before? Is there a fire in the kitchen now or something?
Oh no, nothing like that. This is only a tiny planetary crisis that will eradicate us all in about 24 hours if we don't stop it.
Eradication? Well, that's a much bigger deal than I was expecting. Wait, what did you say, you Egyptian knee sock wearer?
What? Huh. It seems very rude to me to boil down people to their nationality, appearance, and or choice of apparel.
I don't think Scion is Egyptian, but go on.
know. I want to say in because I want to say she is from Tsukihime, or at least she's a dead apostle ancestor. Yeah, she's like a berserker vampire or something.
Neat.
Yeah, which is why everyone was surprised to see her here, much more tame. Director Gordoff, Master, and all the other staff members are still grappling with this news.
And you're still grappling with having a personality.
Like, the only reason I forget Master is that she's adorable, at least most of the time.
Okay, Bart.
I'm sorry, you are right. We don't have a lot of time to spare, so I'll be as forthright as I can.
Alright, Shion doesn't use contractions.
Contractions?
Like, you're instead of you are.
As you know, it has been about 3 weeks since the shocking operation to eliminate Limbo. In that time, Novum Chaldea has been tuning up the Storm Border and devising plans of attack for the remaining 6th and 7th Lostbelt. That said, I have told you all before, I see no need to infiltrate Britain, the side of the 6th Lostbelt, right? Because I think we were trying to go straight to 7, because 6 could just be on its own, or it looked like it was going to destroy itself.
Like, yeah, as I recall, in the 5th Lostbelt, there was like a mention of a dragon, and like the 6th Lostbelt would collapse on its own because freaking
Beryl
has no idea what to do.
Yeah, right, because Queon Sky saved his ass because he promised her the dragon of
Albion.
Yeah, as like a way to get her 6th tail.
Yeah, whatever that means. I'm sure I'll figure it out soon.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I mean, it makes sense that they'd go after David, considering, you know, everything.
Yeah, but there's no way we could just skip 7th and just go to 6th, whatever. So I've been focusing my efforts on the 7th Lostbelt, where the foreign god is hiding out.
Yes, I remember. You said we could leave the 6th Lostbelt to its own devices because. Go on, Jack. Tell her.
Because Britain's seriously dangerous. Right, because all Beryl had to do was snap his fingers, and all of a sudden, Rogominiad!
Seriously, Jack? You still have a sleep or something? Every Lostbelt's seriously dangerous.
This one's especially dangerous.
The only reason we're leaving Britain alone is because our work there is already done.
Right.
Remember what Beryl told us? He said they'd burn down Britain's Tree of Emptiness to destroy Olympus's Tree of Emptiness.
Right. Because, at least in your opinion, he did nothing wrong.
Who?
What was his? Woodheim.
Woodheim? Kristaria.
Yeah, Kristaria.
He did a lot of things wrong, but he did them for good reasons.
Yeah. I mean, his whole thing was turning every human essentially into a god to kind of fight for themselves.
Yeah, you know, he just had to sign a contract with a foreign entity to wipe out the entirety of Earth, and
it almost worked, but then Beryl had to do stabby stab.
It almost worked, and then everyone died.
Uh-huh.
It's okay. There are only 2 good cryptors.
Yep, Senpai and Kadok.
Okay, there are 3 good cryptors.
Well, actually, what was her name?
Ophelia was pretty
Ophelia.
Yeah, she was pretty cool.
Yeah. She could have joined us, but then she had to die.
Mm-hmm. Also Pepe.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think like his whole thing is that he's a wild card.
Yeah. He's more neutral than anything. He just likes to have fun.
Paper Moon's planetary observation grid, and Shiva's predictions. According to this, the British Lostbelt will vanish in about 24 hours, and when it does, it will also engulf the rest of the planet like an enormous tsunami.
Oh.
So there's so much magical energy coming out of Britain that even though it doesn't have a tree, when it collapses, that alone will be enough to wipe everything out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be an implosion, I think.
So we're just kind of escalating power here.
Pseudo-black holes. Wait, let me read that.
No, we are not talking about one of the foreign gods' pseudo-black holes. This would very well and truly be the end of Earth. This will overwrite humanity's current bad ending, the bleached Earth phenomenon with a completely dead end.
So it's literally not even just a bad ending, it's just no end.
Yeah, it's timeline, basically forcibly halting the timeline forever.
But why is that happen? Why is this happening? That we don't know, but now that we know that will happen if left unchecked, we can ill effort to simply sit back and twiddle our thumbs.
I wonder if he's feeling okay after his lightning lobotomy.
Right. Da Vinci and Captain Nemo are on the Stormboater as we speak, getting ready to launch. Up till now, we have been using the Shadow Boater to infiltrate the Lostbelt via void space. But this sudden development has left us without the time needed to prepare. Fortunately, we now have the Stormboater, which is capable of...
It's going on the tablet.
Eh? Ah, fuck. Disconnected. Capable of direct breaching the walls surrounding the Lostbelt. As a battleship, the Stormboater is essentially our frontline base.
The Gundam parallels are there.
Yeah, they bring in a lot of Gundam stuff.
Like the whole idea of making a giant mobile base their vehicle of operations into enemy territory. It's essentially White Base and Xeon, but oh yeah, other prediction. Holmes is going to get up to some shenanigans.
Regardless, I suspect not even the Ford God herself foresaw this turn of events. Right, because I think it was mentioned that there's something in Britain that can actually threaten her.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I think, Rongaminiad.
Well, I mean, Rongaminiad was apparently a world-ending threat back in Camelot, so...
Yeah.
And I'm assuming this is a souped-up version.
Because if it's Morgan wielding it...
It honestly shouldn't be stronger than normal, but whatever. Morgan isn't even that powerful in Arthurian myth.
She's just there.
Well, she's capable of great witchcraft, but, like, she herself isn't even on the level of, like, magecraft as, like, Merlin. Which, I mean, isn't saying much. Merlin is basically a demigod.
Yep, either a demigod or a Cambion. Either one of those two.
Mm-hmm. My Welsh boy.
When will we get Saber Merlin Lily?
Honestly, it could happen.
Yeah? I mean, he said he's better with a sword than using magic.
Mm-hmm. That and their myths, you know, and their actual myths, I'll say, fragments that basically are trying to tell the adolescence of Merlin and all the miracles that he performed. And in one of them, I believe, he stabs a dude. So yeah, he could be a saber. Also, he took up a sword when he was serving Arthur when he was king.
Well, at least we're getting the female version later. Well, no, that's next year. Never mind.
But don't let male Merlin near female Merlin.
Finally, my own clone. Now none of us will be virgins.
You're a virgin? That was the first thing I got rid of.
Not coming, Shion?
Why are you surprised? She's never come.
Right. Sorry, you're right. I did say the entire staff. My bad, I did not phrase that as intended. I felt it would be much too presumptuous to count a newcomer like myself as a member of Chaldea's staff. Please do not worry about me. I'm just going to stay here and continue to monitor the 7th Lostbelt. So do your best out there. I promise I'll do the same here. That said, if you all should blow this one, both I and this base will cease to exist in about 24 hours. So I'm counting on you more than ever.
So unless there's some time dilation stuff going on, there's the implication that the entire Lostbelt is going to take place over a single day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, if I remember right, that shouldn't be the case, because that would be a...
Not a lot of time to tell a story.
Yeah.
Attention all crew members. I repeat, attention all crew members. We've arrived at the waters near the British Lostbelt 2 hours after departing the Wandering Sea, just as we expected. We're currently 200 kilometers north of the Isle of Britain. The Wall of Light looks to be a dimensional rift, just like the World's End from the Sixth Singularity. Thanks to Da Vinci and Professor's analysis, we've learned that the rift is the thinnest on the southern side. So that is where we'll be heading, and we'll begin the dimensional boring as soon as we arrive. We expect to begin the operation in 45 minutes. All hands remain at your posts until further notice. There you have it. We're going to begin the operation as soon as possible without any breaks. The Storm Border is a big ship after all, so it can't just slip into void space like the Shadow Border. But what it can do is use its massive propulsive force and magical energy barriers to withstand the dimensional friction that separates different worlds. Basically, it's a giant drill. What we're going to do is fire the Storm Border through that wall of light like a bullet. The entry impact will be just as strong as it is for a zero sail, so make sure you're all in a calm state of mind. If you're confused, distraught, or terrified, then your soul might not be able to keep up with your body. Yes, I'm well aware. You mean that weird sensation where it feels like your chest and head are being stretched out like taffy, right? No need to worry about us, Captain. This isn't our first rodeo. More importantly, we do have a firm plan of action in place, yes? Because I don't even want to think about entering a Lostbelt without a strategy or a goal.
Of course we do. Don't worry, Gordy. We know exactly what it is we have to do. After all, we're always planning on going after the British Lostbelt at some point. Really, you were? But I thought the British Lostbelt was no longer a threat, at least up until today. Right you are, but nonetheless, we were indeed making plans to explore it well before now. While we only had a few bits and pieces of information to work with at the moment, we do know that Beryl Gut remains in the British Lostbelt, and that its king was able to launch an attack on Olympus' Tree of Emptiness. What's more, this king was able to burn the very Tree of Emptiness required to sustain their Lostbelt. While it's still unclear whether Beryl tricked them into doing so, or they were acted with informed consent, what matters is that they possess enough power to burn a Tree of Emptiness single-handedly, and that there's Rongaminiad, right? Yep, huge powerful spell akin to a divine punishment that was able to reach Olympus all the way from Britain. A mystic that surpassed even Crystaria's ideal magecraft. That was Rongaminiad, alright. Is a spell devised not by human hands, but by the inner sea of the planet itself. It would be a powerful weapon against the foreign god, which means it's something we desperately need. Okay, so I was right. Planet's inner sea? What is that?
Oh, that? It's basically a paradise of legend. Every mythology's got some kind of promised eternal Holy Land, right?
So I guess Avalon would be like Britain's heaven.
It's where the dead go.
Oh.
Utopia, the Garden of Eden, the land of the young, Tir na Nog, and so on. Well, Britain's is called Avalon. It's supposed to be an otherworldly paradise that can't be reached by ordinary means. Close enough. The only possible way to reach it is if you're called to it, or if you have Arthur's boat. It's also said to lie inside the planet, and that's where the souls of stars go to sleep. That's a way of phrasing that. Pretty much every clock tower's mage has heard about it. I know I called it a legend, but that's not how the people who actually can see it think of it. Okay, so Avalon itself is essentially an otherworldly area that is related to Tir na Nog, at least in the oldest forms of the myths. Essentially, it's where the dead go to have their souls sort of wander for eternity. And it's also where every fae, witch, fairy, wizard, every sorcerer comes from. Basically, you're either from Avalon, in which case you're a powerful magic user, or you're a dead person who did great deeds, in which case you're wandering Avalon for whatever fate has in store for you.
You see, because I know, okay, so then Ryder Mordred can just go to Avalon, because she has,
the boat.
Yeah.
Yep.
As a surfboard.
Yep. Hell, the clock tower's even got a department for exploring it. That said, we're talking about a place that's completely outside human comprehension. Once you get mixed up with something like that, you're practically already lost to a world outside our own. What are you saying, Munipatsa? Are you talking about the underground workshop? They're just an ordinary archaeological team with a fancy name. Also, they're adding a little bit more. They're saying that Avalon is inside the planet, when no, it's just its own island in regular mythology, which is fine. It's a way of interpreting it.
Yeah.
Proudly proclaim they found Earth's belly button underneath the clock tower. I may be something of a magecraft elitist, but even I would be too embarrassed to say something like that with a straight face.
Ahem, if we're quite done with our
digression
about the Mages Association of the Clock Tower's inner politics, let's return to the subject at hand, shall we? Now that we know that the King of the Britain Lostbelt controls Rongominiad, we need to investigate it and learn how it works. Indeed, the Rongominiad is the very reason why we are making plans to explore the British Lostbelt. While the circumstances have forced us to act sooner than we'd hoped, we were always planning to pay them a visit eventually. So then, Master's mission this time isn't just to investigate the Lostbelt. While we do, of course, also need to prevent the collapse
Trismegistus
to warn us about, securing Rongominiad is our top priority. As such, our ultimate goal for this Lostbelt is to negotiate with its king for it. Yeah, because, like, Rongominiad is another weapon of Arthur, and it's more... Did you say it was more powerful, or just as strong as Excalibur?
Neither. It's just a spear. In mythology, it is just a spear. No, the one that's meant to be more powerful than Excalibur is Clarent. Which is the ceremonial sword that Mordred stole before the Battle of Camlan and allowed them to fight Arthur on even terms. Oh, you mean you want to cut a deal with this Lostbelt's king? Someone capable of essentially firing intercontinental ballistic missiles at will.
Come on, Gordy, I mean, you managed to negotiate with Canis of all people.
To be fair, I think Canis has a thing for Gordolf.
It's like, ever since that croissant curled off, I can't stop thinking about you. It's you. Whatever. Yep.
I won't say it's love at first sight. It's more like the fascination one has with watching a car accident.
But between the Storm Border, the Heroic Spear System, and the Black Barrel, I think we should be able to neutralize the so-called planet-sized threat like the Foreign God if the circumstances call for it. Shion was adamant that we need a divine construct, so here we are. Well, Miss Shion is an Atlas alchemist. I have no doubt she has something unique in mind. And let us not forget, we wouldn't have the Nautilus or the Storm Border if it weren't for her. So I, for one, am perfectly willing to go along with this plan of hers.
Yeah, Sherlock is extremely, passive ever since he got blasted.
Yeah.
He's just kind of going along for the ride.
Honestly...
He's not really offering anything. He's just more like, yeah, let's just do it. Let's go. I'm game. Let's do it.
Yep. Over, you don't think you're just being a little bit overly optimistic here, Holmes? This could be the biggest burden we've asked Jack to bear so far, you know? This mission does have a little bit different than the others. It's not like trying to destroy anything, it's just we need to get its weapon.
You'll have to continue this conversation later. We've almost reached the drilling point. All hands return to your posts. Brace for space-time crossing impact.
Alright, sorry, Captain.
Ah, crap. The wall's right in front of us. Sorry for not paying closer attention, Captain. Alright, I understand. I still don't like it, but at least I get the point of this mission now. Remember, Jack, this won't be like any of the other Lostbelts we've faced so far. Which also were not like any of the other Lostbelts that we had faced up to that point. Try to keep your reckless risk-taking to no more than 30% of your usual antics.
That's asking for a bit much. I'll do 50. At least it'll be interesting that way. Good grief, it seems Gordolf beat me to the punch. As important as this mission may be, it should be within our ability to acquire this weapon. Fortunately, we have both knowledge and time on our side. Regardless of what sort of person we may be dealing with, as long as we take things one step at a time, we're sure to arrive at the truth eventually.
He's so passive.
Strap on! Don't you mean strap in, man?
Good. Professor, start the final safety check. Storm Border initiate zero coding. Triton engines 1, 2, and 3 are all green. Space and time difference corrections between Storm Border and drilling targets have been calculated. Da Vinci will protect the ship's armor from the computer room while the Nemo series focus on maintaining our route. The computer room just gave us the all clear, Captain. We're looking at a 99.9% chance of success. That means it's going to fail.
Man, could you just imagine if we actually, like, in the story had at least one of the actual, like, beast servants? Because then they could just use their independent manifestation to just go there.
Like, hi, you're here now. No need for the storm border. No need for zero sail or void space. You're just here now.
Yep.
Thanks, Tiamat.
Because the only two that we could use is either Kiara or Kama, but...
Neither of them have been summoned as their beast selves.
No, and, like, we did have Kiara as part of, the Oku, but we lost her because she sacrificed herself to stop Kama. And as far as I know, Kama is not part of our entourage.
Dimension-piercing battleship Stormborder, move out. Prepare to enter the 6th Lostbelt. Lostbelt depth EX. 2019 Fae Roundtable Domain Avalon La Fae. The moment a planet is born.
So this is taking place current times, and not just in the past. That is the one of the biggest mysteries. I think I don't remember the reason why, and I'm glad. Ooh, all dreamlike. Beginning. Here we are.
It's Gog Magog! What's up, my guy? Anyway, the fairies cherished freedom. The fairies guarded their love. In recompense, the children lost their world. Though it is destroyed over and again, your Britain will ever prosper.
So let's get a look here. We see 6 figures, side figures. I'm guessing those are...
The giants.
Yeah, and then we have a big guy.
Gog Magog.
And then we have something at the bottom that looks like a dinosaur or a dragon.
I'm assuming that this is the Albion dragon.
Yeah.
Spring's surprise, summer's quarrel, autumn's joy, and winter's battle. Death piled upon death to stand eternal. Be wary and never forget. No matter how sturdy the walls, a castle's foundation never changes. As the world took new form, the roots aged. And now, unseen and unfelt, the gnawing of the tiniest of insects shall bring all to ruin. That's a little Nordic. It makes me think of the Nidhogg, which I'm surprised wasn't in the Scandinavian Lostbelt, but whatever.
Yeah, I still think they should have done more with that one.
Honestly, okay, look, if we're talking about like ranking Lost Belts, I like all of them. China's the worst for me, just because it felt super short and not a lot happened.
Yeah, that one to me felt the weakest. Like, it was fine, just not...
It just kind of happened. The only real interesting part of it was Qin. Or
yeah.
Qin Shi Huang.
Yeah.
Same here. It's kind of a dizzy feeling, I guess. My head's still kind of spacey, too. I remember the captain declaring we'd broken through the wall of light, then nothing. On a different note, why is it so dark in here now? I mean, honestly,
Captain.
Yeah, this is the storm board.
Yeah.
I'm here, thanks. But it's kind of hard to talk right now.
You too, Captain Nemo? It seems I'm not the only one who feels a little under the weather at the moment.
I think you've been under the weather for a while.
That's terrible, but why did this happen? Allow me to explain.
Da Vinci, you're okay?
Of course. As you can see, I'm the same Chipper Da Vinci as always. It's all because I was synced up to the border in the computer room.
So you found the computer room.
Finally. While you were all out cold, I took care of things inside the ship and finished analyzing the outside atmosphere. So where I should begin, probably with why you and Nemo aren't feeling like yourselves, huh? No, that's alright. The fact that you and Miss Kirillite are fine tells me everything I need to know. Think back to the Chinese Lost Belt. The moment we entered Britain, both Nemo and myself felt under the weather. There must be no heroic spirit can function here, or rather, no heroic spirit extracted from human history. And that, in turn, tells us that human history simply does not exist here. Am I correct? I can't whistle. I should have known you'd figure it out fast. Right, because it's...
I even forget that was a plot point in the Chinese Lostbelt.
Yeah, it's like the further back that it goes, the weaker the human order, I think.
Yeah, like the further back the change was, the less aligned with human history it is, the weaker, regular, proper history heroic spirits can function.
Right, because it's...
unless you're Spartacus, apparently.
Yeah. So it's unless you're native to the land at that point or something, then you're just kind of like at 50% power.
I mean, Ku and Finn and them should be fine here then.
Yeah. I just checked the spirit origin graph I transferred to the border, and it was completely shut down. There's not even a fragment of the base needed for heroic spirits from proper human history to exist here.
So no ley lines.
The Chinese Lostbelt's history had no need for heroic spirits, but I'm guessing heroic spirits simply don't exist in this Lostbelt's history. That's why heroic spirits from proper human history like you guys can't set foot on the Isle of Britain. You're basically being attacked from the entire world since you never existed here in the first place. So you're essentially like a bacteria.
Hmm? So there's essentially not enough of a foundation for heroic spirits to operate here. Take, say, Robin Hood, for example. He should be able to exist in any Lostbelt, right? He's so vaguely defined that it should only take a single skilled archer existing at some point in history, regardless of what their name might have been, for him to qualify. But now you're saying that even conditions as vague as those don't exist here in this British Lostbelt.
You got it. That was a great example, Gordy.
Well, you know, I have reached a point in my 10 years as director where I've actually begun to enjoy reading the reports. I dare say I know even more about the Lostbelts than Jack does now, at least on a purely intellectual level. At any rate, I see now. So this history never contains so much as a single skilled archer, eh? How the hell does that work? These Lostbelts have still been around for over 2,019 years, yes? So how could they have that much history, not a single historically significant figure?
I could only imagine it's that whatever state this Lostbelt is in, it's been in that state for that long period of time.
Yeah, I'm assuming Morgan took over and it's just been static forever.
Yeah, because she's either oppressed everyone to all hell, to where nothing can change.
Or, you know, you go by that prophecy or whatever at the start, and it's like history has been canceled and restarted, so there hasn't been enough time on this cycle for such a thing as a skilled archer to exist.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, the fourth Lostbelt did that, but I don't know. That was more just like him hitting a soft reset button.
Yeah. Any amount of human civilization must inevitably pass through a template of particular technological milestones.
That's why they could still exist in the Chinese Lostbelt, because the Qin Empire still had to fight other kingdoms around them to unify to begin with.
Right. And naturally, over the course of history, people will always branch out into various different occupations. Though their names may differ, there will inevitably be famed sword fighters, archers, spear fighters, artisans, soldiers, kings, and detectives. The lack of any such figures even existed here must mean there could be no humans here. An excellent insight, Mr. Jack. Indeed, that would be the simplest explanation. But there are still other possibilities left to explore. I'll have to do so later.
Hang on, then why are the technical advisor and Kirillite there seemingly unaffected?
I'm guessing for MASH it's obvious.
Well, I mean, yeah, Galahad.
Yeah. In my case, probably because I'm a demi-servant.
I mean, that's technically correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, homunculus, right.
You're a clone. You're a faker.
Pretender.
Yep.
That said, I'm even more of a Leonardo red genius than the original, so it might actually work out great.
That'd be a good idea for Pretender, actually. Just have, like, a clone Da Vinci that summons other clones of Da Vinci. Then the only servants who will be of any help in this Lostbelt are you and MASH. Seriously? You mean we can't even summon new ones on site? Since this place rejects any heroic spirits from human history, it seems real unlikely we'll be able to bolster our forces that way.
Too bad we can't summon a certain Beast of Revelations right now.
I mean, there are still some servants that you should be able to summon, just because they weren't human.
Right, like...
Voyager.
Yeah.
You can summon Voyager, you can summon Shang Yu.
Yeah, like any... Essentially going into extra classes.
Or Donzo.
Right.
But never mind that now. Can you tell us what happened over these last 30 minutes, Da Vinci?
Sure, right after the Stormboarder punched through the wall of light, the whole system went kaput. Every electronic device we had on board shut down, causing the Stormboarder to crash. Luckily, Nemo Engineer was able to use the last of her strength to get one Triton engine back up and running. That in turn let the Stormboarder break away from the island's airspace and make an emergency landing in the ocean to the southwest. That's where we are now. The generator's still out of commission, but we're still running on auxiliary power.
So you're around the border of southwest Ireland. Okay.
So we may get to see...
In Southern Ireland, that would mean the Knights of Fianna.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess technically they're the furthest Southern Irish servants we have.
Yeah.
So Ku, Diarmid, Fergus. Technically Fergus.
And maybe Maeve.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Maeve.
Oh, so we haven't been attacked? Does this mean that the king of this Lostbelt has yet to notice us? I can't say anything yet for sure, but I think so, especially since we haven't even set foot on the island yet. The closer we get to it, the more things on the Stormboarder stop working. But the good news is that they only stop working, not broken. I'm only guessing here, but if the Stormboarder gets far away from enough of the islands, I think everything will start working again.
I can't believe it can't even get close to the mysterious island, so to speak. Even with the Nautilus as its base. Still, as much as this situation is making me feel like a failure, I can at least confirm that the Stormboarder is definitely intact.
Which means we gotta go there by actual just boat and just rail on there.
So if everything starts working again, once we put some distance between ourselves and the Isle, then we'll know we have a secure escape route out of this Lost Belt. Now we just have to figure out what comes next. Does the Shadow Border still work, Da Vinci?
Unfortunately, no. We can still use it as a ship to get to the shore, but I'm sure it'd stop working if we made land.
So we can't even use the Shadow Border either. Yeah. Oh, what about comms then? Will those still work on land?
I thought I almost had you there for a second.
Not gonna work.
Again, I can't say for sure until we try, but given how everything else is behaving, I wouldn't get your hopes up. In the worst case, we may have to rely on more primitive means of communication. So how are you with carrier pigeons, Holmes? The most interaction I've had with carrier pigeons was once when I unraveled a trick that relied on them. Of course, I can still use them just fine. Gotcha, I guess that makes me the expert then. Don't worry, I'll handle the written correspondence side of things. Oh, and one more thing, I need to tell you all about how much time we have to work with. In its current state, we can keep the Shadow Stormboarder powered for about 30 days. If we really stretch ourselves thin, we can maybe make it last for 50 days before the auxiliary power runs out. So that's our time limit. Once the mission's complete, we move the Stormboarder away from Britain and restart its engines.
Okay, so basically time is localized.
Yeah. As soon as the
Triton engine does a thing.
Yeah. And that's about sums it up. Sounds good to you, Director Gordoff?
Right then. If the Stormboarder can't get near land, then we only have one course of action available. Kirillite will accompany Jack as his bodyguard while he infiltrates the Isle of Britain. Once there, the two of them will carefully investigate the area and find the cause of the future collapse observed at Chaldea. If circumstances allow, they will also make contact with this Lostbelt's king and acquire Rongominiad. During this operation, we expect that communication with the Stormboarder will be limited at best. Therefore, I'm empowering the two of them to make their own calls in the field with the expectation that they will return safe, sound, and successful within 45 days. You're just sending Jack and Mash. There's no way they can pull this off alone. At least send me or Chin along with them. Not that I'm eager to get myself killed out there, because I'm definitely not, but come on! Don't be daft, Your going along would mean Kirillite needs to worry about keeping 2 people safe instead of only 1. She may be an excellent servant, but she's still only 1 person. So if we only have the 1 servant to work with, I'm going to make sure she supports Jack to get to the best of her ability.
He's Uncle Gorf.
I like lasagna. Don't call me uncle. I'm still in my 20s.
Yeah, he has come a long way, because...
His character arc is probably my favorite.
Yeah, because at the beginning, he was still kind of a pompous ass in the first...
And a coward.
Yeah.
And he's still a coward, but he's less of a coward.
Yeah.
Is that clear to you two? Go on, then repeat your mission's objectives back to me.
Yes, sir. My job is to assist Master as he investigates this Lostbelt in whatever way I can. Don't worry, Master and I will give it everything we've got. Or die trying.
Very good. Then let's get this mission underway. We only have 45 days to work with after all. He even extended it to 45 days to make sure that they're safe.
Yeah.
Britain is a big place. If I were you, I'd start by making my way for Oxford, then. What are you doing there, technical advisor? Is there a reason you're packing various items into a rucksack?
Need to ask? I'm going with them, obviously. Didn't I say I would handle the written correspondence? So keep an eye out for my familiar, because that's how I'll know I'll be sending you letters from the field. What?
Say what?
I guess since normal Da Vinci did accompany us in the 6th singularity, it would make sense for her Lily to accompany us.
There is a precedent in the 6th Lostbelt, yes.
Yeah.
Hey, you got bonus shards.
Yep. So I should get shards along with quartz.
I'll admit that does make sense. All right. You have my permission to go with them, technical advisor. Okay, I can at least take you to shore. Take care of them for us, Da Vinci.
And here we are, the Isle of Britain at last. Woo, it's so foggy out here, and it's so warm too.
All right, settle down.
Oh, he came with us too.
You've already taken out 5 Lostbelts, so another strange land shouldn't be anything new to you.
Well, it is, as a matter of fact, since this is my first time out on an adventure like this, you can't blame me for getting excited. Now go on, Captain, head back to the storm border already. You're having enough time as it is to head out here, right? Oh, he's just dropping us off. It's our job to investigate this area, so you can just sit around and grit your teeth until it's your turn.
Realization. The fact that Nemo is still kind of out of whack in this also implies that gods don't exist in this Lostbelt.
Right.
Fine. I guess I don't have to worry if you're in such a good mood, such in good spirits anyway. Jack, Mash, don't forget to take care of Da Vinci while you're out there on your mission. It wasn't much, but I got a brief glimpse of the place back in the command room right before we lost consciousness. Everything east of this shore is shrouded in fog, but I did make out what looked like a city, approximately 200 kilometers from here. Assuming nothing gets in your way, you 3 should be able to get there in about 2 or 3 days, so that's where I'd start if I were you. I hate to ask you to trudge through this fog, but I don't see any way of going around it, even if we had the time to spare.
Hey, there's a reason we managed to make it this far.
I guess that's true, isn't it? Okay, Jack. Mash, Da Vinci, good luck out there. I can't wait to hear back from you with good news.
Finished checking our equipment, Master. Our survival kits are all set. We have 90 days worth of rations.
You mean 80?
Great, you two can keep the food to yourselves. I don't get hungry as long as I have enough mana.
Forget how much.
Say, where's Foe?
Not here.
I don't see him with either of you. Well, Foe actually never got on the storm border with us this time, so I don't know why. He basically bolted and hid from us. Oh, really? That's too bad. He was always there on your journey to restore humanity, right? Man, I was so looking forward to having the same experience as my grown-up self, too. Maybe Foe just doesn't like Britain or something? That's vaguely...
True. There's an aspect of Britain he doesn't like.
Yeah. Oh, well, nothing we can do about it now. Besides, I'm sure we'll have another chance to travel together.
Don't say that.
Death flags. Absolutely. I'd love to go on another adventure with you, Holmes, Director Gordov, Shion, Manure, Foe, and Senpai all together.
Manure?
I don't know. I forgot.
Munier.
Alright then, let's get going. French names.
Huh.
You said it. Next stop, a city about 200 kilometers to the east.
Honestly, there's enough servants for a French Lostbelt.
Yeah.
Wait, there's already a French singularity. Crap! Indeed we do. I can sense it as well.
I mean, someone could think of a scenario for a French Lostbelt.
I like the idea that Tristan just appears. He's just there.
Oh, right. I just noticed.
Hi.
Indeed we do. I can sense it.
Yeah, I can sense it as well. I'm gonna do my best Pegasus.
What?
Whoa!
Whoa! Huh? I can't believe it. Of all the luck. My first adventure ever, and I'm already hallucinating. Then you and Master are seeing this too, Da Vinci? I thought I was so on edge with it, my eyes were playing tricks on me. That's definitely Tristan, alright.
Why are you all acting like it's so strange for me to be here? This is making me very sad. I mean, I will admit that this certainly wasn't the most dramatic summoning. If anything, it felt as casual and automatic as a weathercock turning in response to the wind.
Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. I have a report to make. My round shield is pulsing with the same warmth it typically has for conducting a summoning. So Tristan was just automatically summoned.
Yep.
Now that I think about it, there was a familiar light surrounding MASH not long ago.
Of all the knights to summon, it's the one that is factually the worst. Just in terms of gameplay.
Oh, really? So I'm not hallucinating at all? Oh, wow, you're right. His spirit origin is solid.
Honestly, even Gareth has better value.
Then it really is Sir Tristan, but how? I thought this place rejected all heroic spirits from proper human history.
I see. It sounds as though you're not upset with me, but rather that my summoning itself came as a surprise. Well, I can assure you all I didn't enter the summon of my own volition. One moment I wasn't here, the next I was. Of course, I am a heroic spirit on humanity's side, and know about you and Chaldea. But aside from that, I have no clue as to what's going on either. Could someone please explain it to me? Tristan didn't understand 5 words of it.
We can't summon heroic spirits here, but you were still summoned anyway. Got it? You didn't explain it. You just said that line and expected me to just know it?
Now I see. So this is a Lostbelt. A hypothetical version of Britain that could normally never exist. I don't know why this Lostbelt allowed me to be here any more than you do. But I suspect it has something to do with this being the Cornwall shore. I do have close ties to this land, after all.
Really?
Yeah, Tristan and Assault.
Ah.
And while its history may be different, the land itself is still the same, I think.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that Sir Tristan is said to have been born in Cornwall, in southwest Britain. That must be why we were able to summon you, or maybe the land itself needed your aid? Could also be that Jack was nervous about exploring a mysterious new land, so he ended up summoning Sir Tristan here unconsciously. Unconsciously summoning servants.
It's happened before.
Either way, having him here with us should be a big help, and it should bode us well in the future too. So if we just go to Scotland, we can summon Gareth and Gawain.
Mm-hmm. Hell, go to Wales. You can summon all of them. Literally all of them.
Maybe we'll be able to summon Sir Gawain of Orkney, or even Camelot's own King Arthur.
You wish to summon King Arthur here directly? I'm not so sure that's... no, you're right. That would be wonderful. And knowing him, I'm certain he would be willing and able to help you. In the meantime, I will of course be happy to offer whatever meager assistance I can. Any knight of the Round Table would do the same.
Except
Mordred.
No, Mordred would do it.
Except Agravain.
And Galahad. Cough cough.
Yeah. Master Jack, I know that neither of us meant for the summoning to happen, but rest assured that my bewitched bow is yours to command regardless.
Play Despacito.
From here on, I, Tristan, child of sadness, shall be your faithful servant. Now then, allow me to lead the way. I know this southwest corner of Britain like the back of my hand. There's a hilly area just past a few mountains not too far from here. With a little luck, we should be able to reach a high road in about 2 hours. Shall we, Master?
We can count on you, Sir Tristan.
I am emo. I love how his Valentine's is just like his greatest hits.
1 hour later. I think we should all hold hands just so we don't get lost in the fog. Because
No.
this is a Fae fog, so...
I refuse to hold hands.
Oh yeah, it's 2019, right before COVID.
I don't have clairvoyance, but I can tell when something's about to happen.
Sir Tristan, I'm very sorry to say this, but I'm pretty sure we're a lot...
We are not lost. No, I don't blame you for feeling like we are, since you all rely on your eyes so much. But I can assure you we are indeed making progress. In fact, we've covered no less than 4 kilometers by now. The only downside is that we somehow haven't been able to escape this shore yet. If Sir Bedivere was here now, he'd happily say, "Don't worry about it, Tristan. You just go to sleep. I'll lead the way from here."
Then we are lost! I knew it! I doubt Bedivere will be happier than this than we are.
Best boy, Betty.
Yep.
Yes, I suppose you're right about that. Oh, this makes me so sad. If Sir Bedivere would only be straight with me, I would have been happy to play him an encouraging song. Oh, they call him Betty, too. Aw, that's adorable!
Yeah. I have a feeling that only make Betty mad. Either way, this isn't looking good.
Yes, that's true. Perhaps this fog is to blame.
Magic fog. That we somehow end up in freaking Silent Hill, too.
I've been laying down bowstrings wherever we go to ensure we don't get turned around. How many do you have? But at some point, the string trail keeps going cold. And not because someone's been cutting it. It's because I've been letting go of them myself. It's almost like I keep forgetting what I meant to do with it just a minute ago.
Magic fog.
We London now.
Master, I'm detecting high-density magical energy signals up ahead. I can't tell you any more than that without analyzing from the border, but... Ooh, attack. They're attacking us. Get ready to engage. Be on your guard. Okay, so is it a battle?
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, it's Mash, Da Vinci, and Tristan.
Okay. Do I have to use?
Man, I wish I had some of these servants. I wish I had Vritra.
Let me just be cheeky here.
Well, you have to set Mash as a starting member.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Alright.
But you can plug suit.
Right. Alright, where are you, Marshmallow?
Up there.
Yeah, let me just, let's see. There's Arthur. Do I have any other knights or such? Tristan. 2 Tristans!
Double T. Alright, let's load them out.
Alright, we'll give you... Since I do need Bond, I really need Bond, and Bond is doubled.
Do you have Conquering the Sea of Stars? That's good on Artoria.
Or Bond?
No, Conquering the Sea of Stars.
Oh.
It's a buster up.
Oh. I do have this.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
And Tristan is good with a quick up, so Traces of Christmas Past if you got it.
Yeah. Let me see.
Like, Fail Not isn't exactly a great NP, but Tristan is good at stalling.
Yep. Alright, let me just plug suit.
And no need to put anything on Mash. She's good.
Yep.
Okay, I got a dip.
Alrighty.
Have fun finding amorphous blobs.
Alrighty. on you.
とても楽しかったとも。
Black Barrel. I can't use Black Barrel? Weird. Quick blade. Oh shit. Okay, this is just about done. It's not terrible.
やりますいくよせーの今回はうまくいきました
Cool. Alrighty. Should have started this much sooner, but I think I might end it here just for now because I don't want to keep going until Aldous gets back, because I really want us to do this together. So, shit. Or I don't know. Did we get them? Let's see. Oh man, they were way stronger than I was expecting. Were those British ghosts or something? I guess we managed to drive them away since they're gone now, but it doesn't really feel like we actually beat them at all. I have to agree, their sheer vitality was astonishing. I don't think they were ghosts at all. I think they were so unusual and so steeped in mystics they were almost seemed like... No, never mind that now. For the time being, I must commend you all for a job well done, Master. I was concerned when you said you couldn't summon your spirits here in Britain. So it was a great relief to see that it is still possible to summon them temporarily for battle. Same, it took a lot more than me out of usual, though. Yep, I was watching you, and you were definitely using much more magic energy than usual. Definitely need to try to avoid fighting as much as possible since you convert your own vitality into magical energy. Oh no. Mash, is something wrong? The Black Barrel, no, the whole Ordinax. It's not working right anymore. Mash? Are you okay, Mash? Oh no. Da Vinci? Did something happen to them? I can't sense them close by. No, wait, they're getting further away. This is not good. It's too easy to get separated in this fog. Let me call out to them. What were their names again? Oh no. I knew it was memory-based. I think they were... Wait, what's my name? Grieving... Oh. Wait, you with the red hair, come back! Shit. You with the red hair... What was I doing again? No, wait. Who am I? Okay, no, I definitely want to wait. So I will pick this back up probably later, but yeah. Alrighty, see y'all later.